Alright, so this is a taco, which is an ethnic food of Mexico. And this is one person giving money to another person because Mexicans are known for their generosity. And this is a chili bean because chili beans were actually introduced to the world by Mexico. And the sombrero was too. And this is Mexico right here. And we did brown for the dry desert and green for the white tropics. And we do a snake here to because it is a native animal of Mexico. And there's a panther right there because it also is a native animal of Mexico.
That's corn because it's like one of the main things grown in Mexico. Native, or whatever you call it, plant, cactus. Petroleum because their main export is petroleum. Another snake that you just had to draw, I guess. That's it.
We're done. This is the Panama Canal because it generates a lot of their electricity. And you probably can't see it, but there's a little person swimming there because that it's one of the only countries that you can swim in both Atlantic and Pacific Oceans in the same day. And it's a baseball because they like to play baseball. And it's that. Then there's a camera because they have a lot of tourists. And that's the flag. And that's South Carolina because it's the size of South Carolina. And they were the first Central American country to adopt U.S. currency. And that's a sombrero because it makes me think of Spanish. And some of the animals are sloths or spider monkeys, and some of the flowers they're hot lip flowers and bananas. And it's the only country that you can see the sun's rise in the Pacific and set in the Atlantic. And the sun's divided into 9 because there's 9 states.
The largest map in Pico Turquino, it's like 2,000 meters. This is the dictatorship board because dictatorship's huge in Cuba. That's a Cuban boa down there. And it's an endangered species in Cuba. Cuba likes to play baseball, soccer. This is one of the flowers of Cuba. I like to play basketball too.
And there's a sun over there because it's usually hot in Cuba. There's a Christmas thrift shop right here because Christmas wasn't introduced as a holiday until 1998. And this is a sugarcane field with the farmer because sugarcane is one of their most harvested crops. And there's a ton of mountains and hills because there's a lot in Cuba. And this is their flag. Cubans like to box, and there's a flamingo because there's a lot of flamingos, and there's a blue reef shark and another flower. And there's a priest because their main religion is Roman Catholicism.
The country that we are doing is Cuba, and the capital is Havana. There are mountains in the background and palm trees because they have mountains. Their land is mountainous with greenery, and they are on beaches. Some animals that are in Cuba is there's alligators, elephants, and flamingos. Some plants in Cuba are the palm tree, banana tree, and sugarcane. For fast food in Cuba, they usually eat tacos. There is a church over there because their main religion is Roman Catholicism. And Cuba is known for great health care. There is a thermometer on the building because their temperatures range of around 77 degrees Fahrenheit. And this is their country's flag. There are two guys down there playing baseball, and down there, and then there are girls on the other side dancing because those are some things that they like to do in their spare time. So we did Costa Rica, and Costa Rica is in between two oceans, so that's what we represented here with the water. And there's waterfalls and lots of plant life. The bottom half is supposed to represent like a jungle, and then the top half is supposed to be like the country or like the city. This is a coffee field because they have like coffee, one of their crops. And there's lots of like interesting animals there, like colorful birds like parrots and toucans. And they also do a lot of like stuff with wind turbines to create electricity for their country. And this is the country's flag. Okay, so we did Guatemala, and Guatemala's capital city is Guatemala City. And these are white nun orchids. They are the national flower. And Guatemala has a lot of mountains, so these are like those. And these are olivas. They're the national tree.
This is the quetzal, the national bird, and they love playing soccer, so I can't just. Not the birds, yeah. Oh, and these marimbas, that's one of the instruments there.
Okay, and these are clouds, but we made them look like flags, and these are national flags, as they say. Liberta 15.
They September or whatever.
Yeah, September 12. I don't remember the numbers, but yeah, that's it.
We did Nicaragua, and Nicaragua has a lot of mountains to the west. They speak Spanish. They have a large abundance of krill and giant crabs, and they have blind snakes all over the mountains. And they mine for copper, gold, silver.
And then most of the rest of the land in Nicaragua is fertile valleys. They grow cotton, orchids, and bananas. And the more animals are the longhorn beetle and the goblin spider. They also produce coffee. And Nicaragua is slightly smaller than New York State. And Nicaragua's baseball team placed second in 1996 Olympics.
And they also have a lot of population.
Our country is El Salvador. Its capital is San Salvador.
It's about the size of Massachusetts.
Its natural resources are gold, silver, pineapples, bananas, and coconuts.
One of the special foods they make there is pupusas. They love to surf and play soccer, as you can tell right there.
As a sign of respect there, that women tap the right side of another woman's shoulder to show a sign of respect.
And on a woman's 15th birthday, they have a festival. Natural wildlife there are seagulls, snakes, sea turtles.
And it has identical mountains on both sides with the plateau in the middle.
And they have really nice beaches too. Also, they speak Spanish. Is that it?
Mexico, their flag. They like to play soccer. One of their natural resources is trees, coffee, pineapple, oranges, and corn. Edgerton Mountains. That's their flag. They do practice. And their donkey, they haul most of their stuff. And those are sugar cane.
The country I did is Dominican Republic. This is the flag that they have. One of the two of the animals that they have are toucans and starfish. They like to play music, that's why the maracas and drums. They also like to play baseball, that's why there's baseball. And that's their baseball logo. They ride motorcycles around a lot. The area is very hilly. And a lot of the houses are made out of tin, like pieces that are put together. A couple things that they make are bananas, sugar cane, and mangoes. One of their natural resources are coal, gold, and silver. One of their popular brands of soda is called Chubby. They have a lot of waterfalls, and they make cookies with chocolate eggs on them. That's pretty much it.
Yeah, our country is Guatemala, and this is the flag inside a soccer ball, and this stands for poverty.
This is a flower, I forgot the name of it, it was called and we drew the mountain in the background.
And there's a toucan, there's temple, because there's Mayan cities inside Guatemala. And there's a population of 14 million. And that's all.
Trinidad is Mexico. They have the poor people. They have farms and they play soccer. And they have mountains. Their animal is they have snakes. That's their flag over there. They have deserts with cactus. The population is 21.2 million. They have large crowded cities.
We did Puerto Rico, and the capital of Puerto Rico is San Juan, and this is the Puerto Rico's flag. And they have mountains, they have rivers, they have plains, and oceans around them. And baseball is a big sport there because it's not expensive to play. And then they have the oldest church, one of the oldest churches in the world in Puerto Rico. And the Nina, the Pinta, and the Santa Maria sailed by Puerto Rico in 1492. And Puerto Rico is about the size of Connecticut, and Puerto Rico is a big traveling place. Like, a lot of people travel to Puerto Rico. And they have the biggest single dish radio there. And monkeys, snakes, fish, clams are all part of the wildlife fish there. And they got they got bananas, mangoes, all that grows there. And it's a big tourist spot.